Hi again, Gregg Bell, the News Tribune, following the Seahawks' 48-17 preseason opening win over the Los Angeles Chargers here at a soccer stadium in Carson, California. A very nice soccer stadium, by the way, the home of the LA Galaxy, the temporary home of the Chargers for the next couple of years. What did we learn tonight? First of all, we learned that Michael Bennett is going to continue to sit during national anthems. The Pro Bowl, two-time Pro Bowl defensive ends did that before the game tonight. Then he talked afterwards to us on the way to the team bus on why he did it. He said he is trying to get Americans to get out of their comfort zone, to be uncomfortable with how race relations are in this country, how relations are with minorities of all kinds. He mentioned religious minorities, Muslims, Buddhists. He mentioned women and gender equality, lesbian, gay, transsexual equality. He said that this is bigger than him and bigger than football, and that he knows he's going to face backlash, which he already is, for following former teammate Marshawn Lynch, who did that again last night when Oakland played preseason in Arizona. Bennett had I give Bennett credit for having articulated an explanation for what he did. You can disagree or agree with the act itself, whether it's disrespectful to the country or not. He had he articulated, as he always does, very well, his explanation for why he's going to do what he's going to do. He said that the Seahawks are behind him. He appreciates the support of the organization, of Coach Pete Carroll. Carroll, by the way, said he did not know before the game that Bennett was not going to stand for the anthem. As for the football itself, we learned that Travoin Boykin is better when the lights are on, at least so far this year, than he is in practices. He and third stringer Austin Davis really couldn't hit a side of the barn throwing the ball for the most of 2 weeks of training camp. Then tonight, Boykin 12 of 15, and except for an interception on his very last play, he had one touchdown pass in the first half. And then in the third quarter, the reason he got an interception is because former LSU track star Cyril Grayson, playing his first football game in 6 years, simply outran his throw on a deep post route. Austin Davis came in and went 7 for 9 passing. And also, look, he even had a 17-yard scramble, which journeyman NFL quarterback is not supposed to be able to do. So the two backups looked really good. Boykin in particular looked really good as he has since early last preseason. So the Seahawks feel a little better about their backup situation. Of course, Russell Wilson, their $88 million guy, is the plan to play every game. If we're talking about Boykin and or Davis in a regular season, the Seahawks are in trouble. Wilson played just one series, 3 of 4 passing, 2 of those completions to Paul Richardson for 30 yards. The second one, Richardson made a diving catch, rolling, tumbling on the ground, landed on his right shoulder, 23-yard gain that set up a field goal by Blair Walsh, but sprained AC joint in the right shoulder for Paul Richardson, Pete Carroll says. We're talking weeks well into the season probably until he's even thinking of coming back on the field. Carroll wouldn't commit to a time. He just said it's going to be a while and that he is hurt. Richardson can't buy a break. This is his first 3 years, showing flashes, then a knee reconstruction, showing flashes and a hamstring pull on one catch after coming back from the knee. Last year he started emerging at the end of the season when Tyler Lockett broke his leg. And it looked like now, tonight he was starting because Lockett took a rest, still recovering from that broken leg in December. Now it looked like Richardson was going to be one of the top 4 receivers on this team, and now he's got a sprained shoulder and is out indefinitely. On the defensive side of the ball, Shaquille Griffin talked after the game about how comfortable he felt starting at right cornerback. He played more than any other defensive starter well into the second quarter, almost at halftime. He was beaten on a touchdown catch by Antonio Gates on a throw from Phillip Rivers, but he can join the NFL club of that. There's a long line of very illustrious defensive backs who have been beaten on a Rivers to Gates red zone connection. He made a good play on the ball in the first quarter, staying with his receiver down the left sideline. Actually, the ball deflected off of Griffin's back. He barely turned his head before the ball arrived. Rivers underthrew it a bit. But all in all, a very good first start for Shaquille Griffin. Jeremy Lane is close to coming back, Pete Carroll says, from the soft tissue injury that has had him out for more than a week. The Seahawks expect Lane to practice on Tuesday when the players get back onto the field. The only other injury of note that Pete Carroll talked about anyway was Jordan Simone sprained ACL in his knee, the backup safety, former Skyline High School, Arizona State, and Washington State defensive back. And he may be out a while. He was on crutches coming out of the locker room. So the Seahawks scored the second most points in preseason history for the team. The only time they scored more than tonight's 48, 55 points in 1979. They have a short practice week before they host the Minnesota Vikings on Friday. And yes, as I said, Bennett said he will sit for that national anthem as well. Lots to get to on the blog at thenewstribune.com. Check it out there, and of course you can always follow at GBellSeattle on Twitter. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back in Renton on Tuesday.